ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some scattered showers and storms today. A high this afternoon, mid to upper 80s. Tonight will dry out under a clear to partly cloudy sky. Overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 60s. Partly to mostly sunny sky with isolated showers and storms possible. Highs on Saturday, mid to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
Laviolette watches it get out of here. Gackle sets a deal. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. We are in our usual disparate parts today after sitting next to each other. Well, Christian wasn't there yesterday. Matt and I sweated out yesterday at Allen's Grocery in Summit, Yellville, in about 94 degrees. Maybe that's why Christian Johnston's got a little bit more energy than the two of us today. Is that what when you're looking across the counter, are you looking at somebody that's fired up, or is he ready for the end of the week?
He looks like he's excited about his halftime homework. If it wasn't for the nice people down there, it wouldn't have been as enjoyable, but they always take care of us every time we go down there and loved every second of it.
It was one of those trips back home where I had to make 2 trips to the car just to get the stuff that they handed over to us. Our friend Cooking with Cajun basically overloaded us with all kinds of spices and cornbread and jambalaya pasta, and then of course there was the meat candy to throw in the refrigerator. So yeah, it was a 2-trip to the car, whatever. Anyway, it was fun to be there and still have the flavor in my mouth from the meat candy yesterday.
We don't have to buy seasoning for to the end of time
Ever.
as much. Yeah, that was cool.
I still have some seasoning left over from a year ago. Like, I don't go through seasoning in a certain amount. I guess I have too much of it anyway. I probably have like 20 different kinds of seasoning in the pantry right now, and I'm only one person.
I go into
variety is the spice of life, right?
I don't know. I go into a habit where I use the same 4 seasonings on just about everything. Garlic, some type of black pepper, some sage.
Well, I pretty much go with when it comes to a steak, I go with that Montreal seasoning every single time. The other things you may throw something different onto it, but I'm pretty much just stuck with the Montreal seasoning for steak. They didn't give that to us yesterday, but I got all kinds of Cajun stuff. And we got a football game tomorrow. By this time tomorrow, it should be kickoff. Well, about 2 minutes. It was funny for the Arkansas State game. We had an 11:02 kickoff. That's when you know that it's a streaming-only game, because that's a baseball first pitch time. They don't kick football games off on ESPN at 2 minutes after the hour, so probably about 24 hours and 2 minutes, kickoff at the Liberty Bowl. The line is hung pretty tightly all throughout the week. It's Bet Sarazen's got the Hogs as a 7-point favorite. I think that's about where the line started this week, so that's a lot different from last week where there was about a 5.5-point swing from Monday to Friday, even to Saturday morning. It still changed a little bit. So I think a lot of that had to do with, whether or not their quarterback would be available. And you do have, I don't think there's a matter of who's available for this one. You're going to be facing a team that can really move the ball. This Brendan Lewis who was reading briefly, he and Taylon Green were basketball teammates a long time ago for a season. So they do know each other a little bit. He's from Texas, and he has been around. Lewis starting his career at Colorado. He was part of that 1-11 team that got Carl Durrell fired, though he went into the transfer portal in October. So he wasn't. I even look back at that Dion speech. Remember the famous Dion speech?
We got Louis
Vuitton. That's right. Bringing my luggage with me, and y'all better get in the portal. Lewis already had gotten in the portal by then by about 3 months off, so he wasn't in that famous meeting.
Well, he wouldn't have been playing. I mean, if you're a quarterback, it's kind of you knew what was going on when Dion got there.
Well, and he also, yeah, exactly. No kidding. He also hasn't won a lot of games. Like his career record is 12-25 as a quarterback.
Wow.
It's 3-0. That's with a 3-0 record this year with Memphis. So I mean, this is a quarterback who, it's interesting when you think about the ideas or why somebody transfers from one place to another. And you could look at a Taylon Green and say, well, you're going from the Mountain West to the SEC. So this makes a lot of sense if you want to show you can compete at the higher level. And he's doing that. Lewis was at Nevada last year. Now, that's Group of Five. I view Memphis as a different level than Nevada, so it's a bit of a step up. But he didn't do any winning at Nevada. He didn't do any winning at Colorado. And this is his one chance to play for a winner. And this is his one chance to beat an SEC team. So a matter of, the kind of opportunity that's right there in front of you. And the guys played really well. And I don't know. I mean, it's an offense that has a streak of 43 games scoring 20 points or more. Matt, this offense shouldn't have much trouble getting past 20. Now, I know the Memphis defense is going to come at you in different ways, and I think the only thing that will get in the way, I don't think Memphis is going to stop Arkansas on a routine basis, but Hogs make some mistakes. If fumbles turn out to be a problem, after this last game in which the one ball that dropped turned out to be maybe the play that mattered the most, that's the thing that's going to be an issue. And that's kind of what I'm watching for now, because if that was the biggest aspect of last week, at the end of it, to me, that's the only thing that's going to slow them down in this game too.
Yeah, you want to know how you win one-score games? Win the turnover battle. That'd be a good idea. So I think you're exactly right. As long as we don't beat ourselves, this game's it's one of those deals where it's Arkansas's game to lose. It's like if Arkansas plays Memphis 100 times, we'd win 98 times. I really think so. So it's one of those games where just go out there and play your game.
Well, you're going to open up the Lewis Automotive hotline and text line throughout the show. Halftime on a Friday, we're going to be talking with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen at 1:15, and Aaron Torres when we come back from the upcoming break. But here's an interesting text on the Lewis Automotive hotline, 877-377-6963. I've heard this a few times. Matt, maybe you have too, that you don't look like you sound. I don't know if I've never, when you look in the mirror, you know who you are. So it's not like you can really have an opinion on whether or not you look like you sound. Everybody else can have that opinion. Jesse, now I love how he started this text by saying, I hope you don't find this creepy, which basically means you're going to find it creepy, right? He Googled us. He didn't know what we look like, and he doesn't think that we look like we sound. Now, I think you look more like you sound than I do, Matt, and that's because you're tall and you got a deep voice.
I've known you for, I guess, over a decade now. I'm past. I think you sound like I can hear your voice without seeing your. I got it now. Like it's one of those deals. So I don't know how to answer that, Phil. Like you sound how you've always sounded.
Yeah, and I know all the people not all of them, but most of the people in Arkansas radio, so I've known what they've looked like for a long time. But Jesse's been a dedicated listener for years. This is not his first rodeo on the text line. Sometimes I'll look at the text and you can see, well, this person hasn't texted in over a year. What's going on here? I mean, I've gone back dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of texts for Jesse, and it's still September. So this is somebody that I don't know. I'd have thought he might have Googled us years back. Jesse, it doesn't creep me out. I might just be insulted. You hadn't Googled me up until now.
Whenever I would travel, especially in my 20s, off season, you'd go somewhere. If it's, Mexico, if it's Hawaii, if it's overseas, just wherever you're going, a lot of people would be like, "Are you from Texas?" I got that a lot. Like they were just like, "You're from Texas." Like from Arkansas. They're like, "Arkansas? Where's Arkansas? Do y'all wear shoes in Arkansas?"
No kidding. Yeah.
Well, like, you just stay away. Like we got enough people in Arkansas. If you don't like it that much, you're not hurting my feelings by not coming.
BE thinks I sound taller on the radio. That's nice. Thank you, BE.
I thought you would be taller.
Yeah. Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper, BE? Thank you very much. That's the nicest insult I've gotten all day long, and it probably won't be the last. Send them in, all the nice insults all throughout the show. We'd love them. 877-377-6963. I've even gotten this at times before, depending on who the partner was, they couldn't tell us apart. People can tell us apart, Matt. We sound quite a bit different, and our ideas on some things are a lot different too. Chandler says he can't tell Ruskin and Zach apart. How can't you? They don't sound alike. They have different speaking patterns and everything. So I don't know. Maybe Chandler is one of the guys who mostly listens with the radio in the background, but he's paying attention because he's just like Jesse. He's been listening for a long, long time, and his texts go like 100 years back. So here's the one that people wonder about. Here's a text wondering what Eduardo the Sherpa in Clarksville looks like. Because if you're going by the voice, I think he looks like a volcano that's on fire, doesn't he? So you might actually have to, you could Google Eduardo in Clarksville. It's got to be Eddie in Clarksville. Nobody else but me calls him Eduardo. And see what you think. You're not going to be disappointed, but you also will be a little bit surprised. All right, 877-377-6963 for a Lewis Automotive Hotline. We'll break here, and we'll see what's going on in the background behind Aaron Torres right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ryan McGee, ESPN.com senior writer. Marty and McGee. Squeeze play or red zone?
Squeeze play. Squeeze play is like a drug for me. Like I've never done drugs, but I kind of get it because when they go to that quad box, I was texting Mike Rooney and Chris Budden and Chris Burke and Matt Schick going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Elma. From October 26th to the 29th, Crabtree RV will be having their big fall sale complete with great door prices. Bring the little ones on Saturday, October 28th for our community trunk or treat. There will be candy, games, bouncy houses, and more. Whether it's our big fall sale or trunk or treating, you'll not want to miss these October events at Crabtree RV Center in Elma.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. Please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute is brought to you by Aldana's Roofing LLC, proudly serving our area with excellence. For all of your residential and commercial roofing needs, call 479-226-0557. That's Aldana's Roofing LLC. On the air, reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free, thanks to our brave.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Jelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, Non-Typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Jelco Outdoors Porch Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Are you tired of bulky, embarrassing dentures? At River Valley Smile Center, we offer fixed hybrid dentures, a permanent solution that looks and feels more natural than traditional dentures. They're secure, comfortable, and never come out. Most procedures can be completed right here in our office with sedation. No need for referrals. With state-of-the-art facilities, advanced techniques, and digital workflow, we provide the best possible outcomes. Financing is also available. Call us at River Valley Smile Center today at 479-646-0706 or visit us at rivervalleysmiles.com.
Dad, the driveway looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Half-price apps and taps are back at Joe's Grill and Cantina every Arkansas game day. Wear your hog gear and get half-price apps and taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Enjoy 10-layer dip, chimney paquitos, the ultimate sampler, and Mexican pizza, all half price during Arkansas games. And all your favorite beers on tap are half price. Half price apps and taps during every Arkansas game. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
It's time for the end of summer clearance at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, get a grand your way when you drive away in the road-ready certified pre-owned car of your choice. Inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Get an extra discount, extra for your trade, or buy that special someone a gift to make up for not talking to them about the new truck in the driveway. We got your back. $1,000 to use however you like. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
All right. Freaks flying around on wheelchairs, motorized by electric motors made by goblins in factories overseas. They're there to buy drywall and other products so they can eat back at home on the sofa. They watch TV. They watch TV about a man named Chandler Bing who died in a freak hot tubbing accident. He spent his time drinking flavored water on a popular TV show called Dumb Girls.
Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Aaron Torres is the host of the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast and owner of Aaron Torres Media and on Fox Sports Radio, and he joins us most Fridays on halftime. And AT, what do you got going on a Friday? You on the air later today?
I am not on the air later today. This is the only time I'm on air, actually, as a matter of fact. So going to take advantage of it. And then, like the rest of us during a busy football season, you try to find time to get the little stuff done around town. And, I'm on air 11 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, as I always am, and then I'm on back 11 a.m. Eastern recapping on my own show. So it's a busy time of year, but as we talk about all July and August, I wouldn't trade it. As much as I love my time off, I also love, being able to have more than enough to react to at this time of year.
When you're on national radio and you're on at night after most of the games have already come to an end,
yeah.
Are you people are mostly into talking about games now, right? I mean, there's so much going on in college football, but they're more interested in the game specifically. And I mean, that's what your Saturday night show is going to be all about. That's got to be the best part about actually covering college football, or the games itself.
Yeah, Phil, everyone in our business, certainly you as much as anyone I know, you sacrifice a lot of time with family, you sacrifice a lot of time with friends, but I always say this is that, if you're in a situation like I am, where I'm very fortunate in that I have a family that understands what I do and what, et cetera, I just bring it up because that Saturday night shift is about as fun as you can possibly have. Because, yes, I'm a college football junkie, but, keep in mind, we're coming on after, big games basically every Saturday. So, sometimes it's the NFL playoffs. There's a couple Saturdays where we get NFL games. College football for 12, 13, 14 weeks a year. NBA playoffs, Final Four, Elite Eight. So it's just, again, I understand that, everyone's schedule wouldn't allow them to work 11 p.m. Eastern every Saturday night, but I'm fortunate in that I have a family who kind of gets it, and it's about as fun of a time as you can be on air because basically out of those 52 Saturdays on a calendar, I would guess probably about 48 of them you're reacting to something pretty big on a Saturday night. And so obviously this week it'll be college football, and there will certainly be plenty to react to.
3 top 25 matchups. You got Illinois and Indiana. You got Auburn and Oklahoma. Texas Tech and Utah, the ACC kind of sitting this one out in terms of top 25 matchups. Which of these games, is interesting you the most? And the Texas Tech game really kind of hits me because this is their first Power 5 opponent, and this is their chance to show all the money that they've thrown at trying to win a Big 12 championship. Well, it happens to be the other team that probably could win that championship too.
Yeah, I actually think these are, in my opinion, the two best teams in this league. I did have Utah playing for a Big 12 title. Utah, it's tough, too, because their big game was against a win at catches for Kyle Whittingham about, but we thought it was certainly a bigger deal than it probably ended up being or will end up being, considering that UCLA is looking for a new head coach. But that one has so much intrigue to me. And then I'll just say this, too, is if Oklahoma wins tomorrow, I think it's not as much of a story, although I certainly think it's very interesting. But if Auburn wins, because I do think, listen, we all know that there were certain coaches coming into the season on the hot seat, but for many reasons, some of which are probably self-inflicted, and he would say so himself, Hugh Freeze, maybe more than any other coach in the SEC, kind of becomes this punching bag to 15 other fan bases. And, I always thought he would largely figure it out. Now, what is figuring it out at Auburn in this 16-team SEC era, I don't know. But if he wins that game tomorrow, and you look at the rest of the schedule, it's still certainly tough, but you get Georgia and Bama at home. You avoid Texas. You've beaten Oklahoma at that point. Like, everyone that spent all offseason kind of making fun of old Hugh Freeze, you kind of got to acknowledge that they're very much an SEC champion, SEC contender to at least make it to Atlanta. And then from there, potentially, make the college football playoff, even if they don't get to Atlanta. So I think, to your point, Texas Tech and Utah is probably, to me, the most intriguing game. But I think the most interesting result would be if Auburn went into Oklahoma and was able to get the win on Saturday afternoon against the Oklahoma Sooners.
Aaron, a couple teams that I had penciled in the playoff 12 before the season started, Clemson and Notre Dame, both have 2 losses this early in the season. Both those teams missed the playoff 12. I'm assuming if either one of those teams win the rest of their games and get to 10-2, both those teams would be in. Who do you have both those teams out, or do you think both those teams can find a way back in?
Yeah, asking me about hosting on Saturday nights. I mean, this was one of our big reactions. That Texas A&M Notre Dame game ended probably about midnight Eastern in our second hour, I believe, so it went late. But one of our big reactions was, I think Notre Dame and Clemson, don't even get me started. We'll get to Clemson in a second, but I think Notre Dame had a real uphill battle because, and we knew this coming into the season, is that basically you could argue their 2 biggest games. I think almost everyone would argue their 2 biggest games on paper were the first 2 games of the year at Miami, Texas A&M at home. And I think it felt like to everybody, you got to split those games. And then you got to hope, if you split those games, you go 11-1, you're comfortable. But then even if you lose a weird one along the way, maybe it's in Arkansas in a couple weeks, I don't know, but you have that signature win to kind of hold your hat on. So now that you've gone 0-2, you just look at Notre Dame's schedule, it's just hard to find great wins. Now, maybe USC will end up being better than we realize. USC goes to Notre Dame in a few weeks. Maybe Arkansas, we all saw how things ended last week. We all know how close they were to pulling off the upset in Oxford. So, what Notre Dame needs? They need to start rooting for Arkansas in every other game except for when they go to Fayetteville a few weeks from now. I think they're in an uphill battle, and I think Clemson, I don't think it's hyperbole to say they probably have to win out. I mean, even if you go 10-2, at that point you'd make an ACC championship game. But it's 10-3 with a lot. Your best win at that point, I guess, would be Florida State, maybe South Carolina. But what is South Carolina right now? And this is kind of the fun thing of this 12-team playoff era is I think we're all trying to figure out what teams have to and have to not do. But here's the reality: is I think a year ago everyone kind of did the whole "you can't overreact to a loss in week 1" or this or that. It's like, no, there are meaningful things in the bigger picture of the conversation that can happen in September or October. And I think to your point, Matt, both of those teams, their backs are very much up against the wall, and we're barely midway through September.
Did you see, of course you did, earlier in the week, we finally saw the entire Arkansas basketball schedule. It's funny because the baseball schedule came out fully before the full basketball schedule did. It turns out it's because it might be a little tough to get the ink signed on all the contracts for all of the Elite Eight teams you're playing out of conference. I mean, you're playing the ones that are in conference, too. I've never quite seen a schedule like this, Aaron, certainly not in the last, 25 years at Arkansas. It's kind of amazing, and I know. I mean, we've been talking about it. You have too. This tells you the kind of team Cal thinks he's got.
That's the key. And I think to me, one, it was funny. I was talking to an assistant coach, ACC, kind of one of those upper tier ACC teams that should be pretty good. And he was telling me, he's like, I have other coaches call. Well, how do you schedule? How do you do it? And he said, number one thing, just schedule to what you think your team is going to be. If you think you're really good, get a lot of games on the schedule that matter, that are going to help you in March. If you don't think your team is going to be good, just schedule some wins to give your team confidence. And so I just go back to, Coach Cal had that media availability. I looked it up this week. I think it was early July, mid-July, where, he welcomed all you guys in locally. But he did the press conference after, and the schedule was far from finalized. But the one thing that he said was, you schedule to your team. And as a guy who kind of followed pretty closely his years in Kentucky, I think there were years where he kind of knew, hey, I'm going to have the youngest team. This was at Kentucky. I'm going to have the youngest team in the country, or I'm going to have to play 6 freshmen. And it was, it was pretty bare bones until you got to SEC play outside of a game or two. And this just speaks to me, the exact verbiage and terminology that you said, Phil. This is a coach that is confident in the group that he is going to take the floor with. I saw today Arkansas officially announced the Midnight Madness thing, which 8 p.m. I think on October 3rd. But it's coming fast, and I think the schedule, as I said, I talked about it on my show today. I encourage people to check it out after your guys' show. But I think it's proof Cal has a lot of confidence in this team now. You got to win some of those games once the season actually starts. But I think there should be a lot of enthusiasm for this team and program going into the 25-26 season.
All week long, we've reacted, our guests have, and many listeners too, to Hunter Yurichek's comments Monday from the Little Rock Touchdown Club. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to do the same as a weekly guest on Halftime.
I didn't love him. I really didn't. And a couple things is, first of all, any AD in the SEC, everyone, there's 130 whatever teams in college football. I think it's 135. There are, by my math, 34 in the SEC and the Big Ten, maybe 34. There's 34. Everyone who's not in the SEC and the Big Ten is trying to get there because there are just inherent advantages that SEC and Big Ten teams have that everyone else doesn't. And so I don't think any SEC AD should be saying that publicly, and I would be just as critical if the Auburn AD said it, if the Kentucky AD said it, if the Tennessee AD said it, whatever. So I just think it's bad. And the other thing, too, is I understand the idea of the rules change every couple months. Nobody's really quite sure what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And, this might differ from what some people have said on your show. I'm not advocating cheating. But at the same time, here's the thing that I think even smart people have misunderstood about this rev share era. Rev share does not put a $20.5 million cap on how much your athletes can earn. It puts a cap of $20.5 million on how much the school can pay the athletes, and it's on partly the school to help athletes find more opportunities outside of the check that they can write them. And so I've never understood this notion. It's not just from Hunter Yurichek, but it's from others that rev share is this elixir. And, I'll just give you an example. My own alma mater, UConn, they shut down their collective, in the lead up to rev share, and they didn't consult me, and I would have said, you're out of your mind. You need the collective now more than ever to help your athletes get outside opportunities. And so I didn't love the comments because I don't think any SEC AD should be saying them. But to take it a step further, I think he, or at least whether he fully understands it or whether he is publicly trying to frame it in a different way, he's misrepresenting what the future of college sports is supposed to look like and his role and the Arkansas administration's role in it. And so, listen, I've gotten a lot of feedback on those comments, and I didn't love them, and I know that a lot of Arkansas fans didn't either.
Well, it's certainly made for an interesting week, that's for sure. I always appreciate your time, Aaron, and looking forward to doing it again next week. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, I say you guys even play football this week. There's so much going on outside of the game itself, and I'm being sarcastic. I know you have a big one this weekend, but it's like there was just a lot going on this week outside of the game itself.
Yeah, it feels like that's a weekly thing. It really is, and I'm kind of expecting that throughout the rest of this football season. All right, that's Aaron Torres. He's the host of the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast. He's on Fox Sports Radio, as you heard, tomorrow night, reacting to all the games across college football, and he'll join us next Friday as well on Halftime, which you can do right now on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Back in just a moment.
This is my 60th year going to Razorback games. They don't care. Now, when I say they, I mean, Hunter, you're a chick.
This is Halftime.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small.
Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561.
Or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
11. Eastside Liquor. Everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Just a song before I go, to whom it may concern. Traveling twice the speed of sound, it's easy to get burned. When the shows were over, we had to get back home. Had to be alone.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
A pensive-sounding song for a thoughtful segment here on Halftime. Going to find out Tuesday, Matt, what the next 4 years of SEC scheduling looks like for football. We're going to get 4 years' worth of this on Tuesday, and, of course, it's got to be packaged up nicely into a television show on the SEC Network and ESPN2. The SEC Opponents Reveal Show. It's pretty straightforward. And that's Tuesday. How about that? We knew it's 9 games, and now we're going to finally find out what this thing is going to look like in the near future. The funny aspect, and I do think this is funny, because I was reading the release about it, and they're going to be reviewing the permanent opponents on a 4-year basis. So I have lauded the SEC for being the one conference that still actually adheres to the geography or the number of schools in the name of the conference, but now they're doing this thing. If you're not going to actually have these opponents be permanent, then don't use the word permanent. You should be reviewing this every 4 years. So, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of golf left in this season, but to me, this is very interesting because it's the first 9-game conference schedule. And, when you see who you haven't played, the baseball team got a schedule that basically looked like it was built on who they didn't play last year. You think they're going to get OU, Bama, Georgia, Florida, Carolina, Vandy, Kentucky, and Missouri, and then it'll be one other opponent because those first 6 are the teams that you haven't, the first 7 are the teams that you haven't played in the last 2 years.
I don't know if it helps the SEC. I get it. They want more money. If you're going off and to have a super league, if you're going to have, the SEC and Big Ten, then sprinkle in a couple other teams, get to 40. You could have promotion and relegation that way. I don't know which way they're going. You're telling me Ole Miss wants to go ahead and play an extra SEC game to have a chance to lose so they can miss the playoff 12? I mean, does it if you're an SEC team, you get up to does it add an extra loss that you can have because you say it's a better opponent? I don't know. I think some of the voters, if you got an Indiana that goes undefeated, you got a team or lose 1, and then you have an Ole Miss that has 4 losses. I still think Ole Miss would beat Indiana, but they're not going to put them in over them.
Well, and that's true.
Because everybody's going to get an extra loss. That's what you're doing. Every single team gets it. You get
but isn't there another side to that? If there is an extra loss for teams, well, that goes along with a win for the team that beat them. So that can be chalked up into.
You see how hard these SEC games are. You see most of that's it's not gonna. It doesn't go the way you think. It doesn't just mean Georgia's going to go undefeated or Alabama's going to go. Those teams, that Georgia Tennessee game, man, that game could have went either flipping way.
Do you think so? I mean, this starts next year. Do you think that leads to fewer SEC teams making a playoff than Big Ten last year?
I think there'll be 4. I don't know why there wouldn't be 4. I mean, what did we get, 3 last year?
Well, just because there were 3 last year, and that was built on the backs of 3 losses. But they remember that the committee has new measurements to go by, analytics to go by. It's supposed to be strength of record, not strength of schedule. Which truthfully, I don't even know what the difference is between strength of record and strength of schedule, because your record is your schedule and the season's over. I mean, these are the same things. So I don't really know if that makes too much of a difference. All I know is that they've already done this. I mean, this is a done thing. And you'd ask, how does Ole Miss feel about this? And I wonder where they would be lined up amongst the 16 schools, because it felt to me that it might have been split right down the middle for a while about schools that wanted the 9th game and the schools that didn't want the 9th game. And you could probably line those up with the standings in this conference for over the last 15 years or even longer than that. I would think Alabama might not mind. Honestly, Georgia potentially the same. I don't understand the idea that it could be another loss for them, but I think those programs may look at it as another win. Ole Miss, I wonder where they would lie in on that. Where do you think Arkansas thinks about this? How does Sam Pittman, Hunter Yurachek view that 9th game? Do they view that as an extra loss or an extra win? And I know people would already be texting in the answer, losses, because of the comments from Monday. So, but it's already done. I mean, this is what the conference is going to look like, not just for the near future, but until there is a Super League, probably, and I think that's just because the Big Ten did the same thing, and maybe money's an aspect of it too. Absolutely. The TV partners want that. And I guess, what did I read? Did I read that each school is expecting an extra $5 million per year based on that one league game that they're adding? $5 million for one game to play in your conference, whether it's a W or an L, and I guess everything's distributed equally.
What do you take the top 6 teams in the Big Ten, top 6 teams in the SEC, and have your own Big 12 tournament right there? Just all you got to do is get in the top 6 versus 1. You just vice versa it like that. That's the way I see it going. If you're talking about money, you're talking about talent. On the field, USC's already in the Big Ten. Oregon's are. You're trying to look around. Clemson, Florida State, Georgia Tech. Now it seems like I don't know what other teams you put in there, but to me that's the tournament. You just want to get in the top 6 of the SEC, top 6 of the Big Ten, and then there's your turning.
Well, I think because this whole schedule goes to 2029, I think the Big Ten had a 3-year schedule that they released last year, so they've got a couple years left on that. Not all of these line up. It's like if you want to have a Super League, it's going to have to line up with all the contracts coming to an end.
Well, they'll buy themselves out of it, like the Pac-12 did when they'll just say here's another $50 million, or they'll pay out of it.
Well, who do you think you end up as your main opponents, your fake permanent opponents, until they decide to not use the word permanent anymore because they assign you somebody else? It's too long of a title to actually call these games. Missouri's on there. That's just a given. And here come the texts about I don't want the Missouri. It shouldn't be Missouri. It shouldn't be Missouri. It's like this is all I always talk about. You don't have to like the world you live in, but you do have to accept it. You do have to
I think it should be Missouri, and I think we're looking at it the wrong way. I think that Missouri game is a game that we should be able to win. Missouri's not.
I want them to look at it the way the
Georgia
baseball team views it.
Exactly. Just because we haven't had any luck or success right now. But who's Missouri beat? Who have they won? What games have they won? They're not like some juggernaut.
Well, they got more wins than Arkansas in the last
true.
few years, and they're most.
I'm just saying, but
they're against the Hogs.
But you're talking about resources. You're talking about talent. You're talking about everything that goes
Stadium,
into it. Like
everything.
I think Missouri. I think the tide's a turn. What do they say? The table's on the other foot. It's like it's. I think the tides are going to turn.
Matt, keep your feet off tables.
Yeah.
It's not really too nice of a thing to do. But I agree, absolutely agree with you, and that's why to me, every conference game equals the same thing in the standings. But some of this also has to do with perception of the program and where you sit in the pecking order. And that's not just in the standings on an annual basis. That's over the course of Well, your coach's tenure and like a 10 or 15-year period in which, Ole Miss has Arkansas's number now. That's 3 years in a row. That's 3 years in a row that Arkansas hasn't forced a turnover against them either, by the way. So, Ole Miss has elevated themselves past the Hogs. There's no reason that Missouri should be a program that's better than Arkansas. And you get an annual chance to show that they're not, and what happens every time. And so Missouri's going to be in. And I agree with a texter here about, Pete says not wanting it to be Missouri is such a scared mentality. I don't know if it's a matter of scared mentality. It's the perspective, I think, from Arkansas fans that they're looking down their nose at Missouri football because of, the history up until when Mizzou joined the SEC, in which they've been the more successful program. But before that, they weren't. And you still view them as like a Big 8 or a Big 12 team. So I don't think it's a matter of being afraid of them. I think it's a matter of not accepting them as an equal or as a rival and feeling like it's forced upon you. And it is. But, why wouldn't it be? It's a team that's to the north, just to the north. Truly, the rivalry makes sense. But that's also why I would think it would make sense with Oklahoma, just to the west, wouldn't it? Arkansas and Mizzou didn't have any great history before this battle line rivalry.
Why wouldn't you keep it regional? Why? That's why I think LSU could go there if you wanted to say Arkansas, LSU. I don't know if that happens, but Arkansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, to me, makes the most sense because people can travel. You can actually load up your family and drive. What is it? 4 hours from Norman, from Fayetteville, something like that. Same to Columbia. It's a easier. You don't even got to get on the airplane to go to those games. You can bus. Do they bus when they go up to Missouri?
I think. No, I think they fly.
Okay.
I think they fly to Missouri, but I think to Oklahoma State, they drove last year.
I know Little Rock they drive.
Yeah, it was a bus trip. They're flying to Memphis. But if it's a Norman,
12-minute flight.
Yeah, pretty much. That's up. That's going up and going down. Pete in Tawny Town says Oklahoma, Texas, and Missouri. I don't think they're going to give you OU and Texas together. I think what ends up happening here is you get Ole Miss.
Could you get Kentucky somehow because of the basketball rivalry too? Could that bleed over?
Call it the Calipari Cup.
I
get Baz to make a trophy, right?
The Bluegrass Cup. Yeah,
It would be John Calipari's sports coat that changes to blue or red depending on who wins the football game. There you go. It's a whole new trophy game.
It's like that Aston Martin that James Bond drove.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's going to be Texas, Missouri, and Ole Miss. That's what I think you're going to get. I don't think you get OU in Texas every year. Because I don't think the SEC views it in that sense. I think they're going to give you something they want to be regional, which is Missouri. I think they're going to give you something that's historical, which is Texas. And I think they give you something that is legitimate, too, because that Arkansas Ole Miss, what is it, 45 straight years that they've played a football game? That's the longest consecutive longest amount of years in a row that Hogs have had a single opponent.
State. We know that. We know Ole Miss would get LSU, Mississippi State. So you're saying that their third would be Arkansas? That would be Ole Miss's three opponents?
I think so. That's who I think they're going to get, and I think that's who Arkansas is going to get. And actually, I don't mind it. I don't mind Mizzou because I accept it. I accept that it's on the schedule and it's not going anywhere.
Alabama gets Auburn, Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
Please no.
But they're getting Auburn and Tennessee, and then it's who would be their third opponent that they get?
Auburn, Tennessee, and they probably get like Mississippi State. You're right, Vandy or Mississippi State, somebody like that. That's my guess. Who do you think you're going to get? 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. And here's what you get: a break, and wrapping up hour number one right after that.
Well, Phil and Matt, I just wanted to tell you how great you all are, and I mean that sincerely.
This is halftime.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Artie's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any two. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two. With fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's Country. Download the app and join My Rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric. Sloan, what do you currently have open?
2 journeyman spots open and a 4th-year apprentice. If you have 1 to 2 years experience with those, you'd be a great fit for my company. We do residential, commercial, and industrial installs. Normal working hours are 8 to 4:30, so you can focus on your home life outside of your career. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
If the 25th is the silver anniversary and the 50th is gold, what's the 75th? Well, that's the fresh beef, onions, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, fries, and drink anniversary. Everybody knows that. Get the #1 water meal for $7.50 in honor of our 75th anniversary. A meal like that is the way you're supposed to celebrate a 75th. The Whataburger 75th meal deal. Whataburger, what a deal. For a limited time at participating locations.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Called me up this morning, told me about the new love you found. Said I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. Found someone else, I guess I won't be coming round. Guess it's over, baby. It's really over, baby. Whoa. And from what you said, I know you've gotten over me. It'll never be the way it used to be.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Oh man, we just missed my favorite part of that whole song, which everybody was going to do it when he hits to look away. You were all going to, don't do it while you're driving, by the way, okay? Doesn't work very well. Good song choice, as always. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. AT brought it up for a moment, Matt. It's not Midnight Madness, but it's not far off. Who knows how long it goes? 8 o'clock, October 3rd, a Friday night at Bud Walton Arena, prime time at the Palace. We're going to be introducing the men's and women's basketball teams to fans who can get free tickets at the Arkansas Razorback website. T-shirt giveaway, The release said a one-of-a-kind arena laser show experience. There'll be a dunk contest, and then the men's team will have the red-white scrimmage for everybody to see, and be introducing both teams and the coaches. So
since when we start calling it the Palace?
The Palace at the isn't it? It's the Palace, the Basketball Palace of Mid-America. It's right there underneath the Bud Walton Arena marquee.
Are they rebranding it though, or is that or was you just being funny?
No, that's what they're calling this. The Prime Time at the Palace is the name of this event. The Basketball Palace of Mid-America. That's in the small lettering right under Bud Walton Arena. So
we got to get some new people up there doing some marketing, because I mean that's horrible.
Well, it should be a fun event. Midnight Madness was such a good time. Midnight Madness at the Palace. Interested in a dunk contest? Interested in seeing the team?
I'm interested to seeing if they can play help defense, if they can rebound, if they can make the proper pass, make the proper play. But yeah, let's see their athletic ability for sure. One thing we always know about a Coach Cal team, if you just want to go have them do an NBA combine, they're going to be top 10 in the country every year. We're always going to have athletes. Are they basketball players?
Well, and that'll be on display first and foremost. How much help defense in a red-white scrimmage? You're gonna have to get Cal in their ears a little bit about it potentially, right? Yeah, I think we've got War Memorial as the Palace of Central Arkansas. That's funny, Sterling. That's good. Jason thinks that they set it up at 8:00 to break fans into so many 8:00 games this year. That's smart. I think you got a ton of those 8:00 tip-offs. So get used to it. And yes, Andy, it is for free. 100% for free. I don't know if in the release it said that there's going to be, the concessions and everything that are going along with it. But this is obviously during the bye.
Is it as bad as when Cleveland said the land? We're saying the Palace. Cleveland's like, we're the land. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they have the uniforms that say it too.
Oh.
That looked really, really odd.
Portland Trailblazers, when they say Rip City, that one's cool. I like that one. Now they're not beating anybody anymore, but that was all right.
Did you do dunk contest? Somebody asked on the text line.
I don't know. I really couldn't dunk. I was just glad they let me on the team, man.
I seem to remember seeing a highlight or two of you throwing it.
As AI. That was that artificial. That was not me.
Might have been holographic evidence that's been destroyed since.
I'm a below-the-rim player.
We're going above the rim into hour number 2, 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. There'll be, we'll have one guest in hour number 2, and we'll be introducing you to the Buffington Homes Luxury Homes Tour that's coming to an end this weekend, something you're not going to want to miss. But lots more to get to, including Arkansas-Memphis and a lot of other things across college football. So stay with us. Halftime returns after the top of the hour.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Gelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, Non-Typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Gelco Outdoors Porch Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with RUSH25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some scattered showers and storms today. A high this afternoon, mid to upper 80s. Tonight will dry out under a clear to partly cloudy sky. Overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 60s. Partly to mostly sunny sky with isolated showers and storms possible. Highs on Saturday, mid to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. It's 12:01 in the afternoon, and halftime continues on a Friday on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson with Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. Our Lewis Automotive Hotline open for you at 877-377-6963. I was just reading a story on Front Office Sports here. So I got to laugh as the NCAA is going to have to cough up more money for illegal business practices, and this has to do with volunteer baseball coaches. They're settling for $49 million. Any volunteer coach from November of 2018 through July of 2023 is eligible for payments averaging $36,000. I mean, it doesn't really sound like a lot, but it is a nice chunk. $35 million or whatever the dollar figure isn't anywhere close to the amount of money that's going out to the players, too, that basically had their NIL taken from them before the House settlement. And it just goes to show the way that college sports was being run for years, for decades, for over a century, was an illegal way to do it. And even just how saying, well, you're getting a valuable experience and you should be happy with that, and I'll pay from my pocket, essentially. The coaches, the head coaches, had to pay the volunteer coaches out of their pocket for camps that they would put on. So, I mean, it's weird stuff. So just the NCAA being shown once again, you got to change the way you do things, and it's going to cost them a heck of a lot more money. Anyway, it's more into football as we get into things here. And I was looking earlier on the Bet Saracen app for Heisman odds, and it's funny, Arch Manning still has better odds for the Heisman than Taylon Green. Let's just say it first and foremost here. Arch Manning's not going to win the Heisman Trophy. I would say no matter what it is, he does the rest of the season. And this game against Sam Houston State, for him, is huge. because Manning has not looked good, and the Bearcats are averaging 314 yards passing by their opponents, 39 points per game, those opponents being Western Kentucky, UNLV, and Hawaii. And Matt, Texas hasn't even played an SEC game yet, and Manning hasn't looked good against San Jose State or UTEP. So this is pretty important. It's tomorrow for him and Texas.
I don't know. We've only played one team and we lost. If you're looking at our schedule, but I tell you something, I like our quarterback better than Texas's quarterback. I don't think Arch Manning's going to win the Heisman this year or next year. I don't think that if you wanted to do a tell of the tape and you wanted both these kids to go to the combine, you know who's going to get drafted first. Taylor Green's going to get drafted before Arch Manning. There's no question. Look at the two kids. Just look at their ability. Look at their athletic ability. Look at their size. Look at their throwing motion. Look at what they can do on the football field. I mean, what is Arch Manning, like 6'1"? Taylor Green 6'5", like looks like a small forward for the basketball team. Taylor Green has a lot of the physical attributes that you want. Like, look at Justin Herbert. Look at his body and how he is. And I'm not saying Taylor Green's Justin Herbert by any stretch of but the body type is the same. Arch Manning's a little bit too small for my liking. It's kind of like what Bryce Young was. When Bryce Young came out, I was like, he's just too little. Like, he's just too little to play at that level. And then you see Jaden Daniels trying to take off and run. It finally caught up with him. Like, you gotta be able to make plays in the pocket, and you want your quarterback to at least be 6'4", 6'2" at the very least.
The thing with Manning now, it's like, forget about the Heisman. He's going to fight for his own job as the starting quarterback now at Texas. This isn't a matter of, is he going to win the Heisman? This is he even going to be their QB1 by the time October comes to an end? Matthew Caldwell's behind him, and maybe, just maybe, who knows? Since Manning, this is the third year he's there, maybe Caldwell's better. I don't know what the star ratings or anything here, but Manning has not looked right. So I think it's huge for him and for Texas, which is obviously a defensive-oriented team right now.
Texas,
and that's before they've taken a single snap against an SEC team. Understand that Ohio State defense is stout, but Manning hasn't had good performances against San Jose State or UTEP. So Sam Houston State, he's got to look good in this game going into the bye, because then you're playing Florida in Gainesville. Florida looks like they might have half a defense, and then it's the Red River rivalry. I wonder if Manning even sticks around as the quarterback the way he's been playing. Because if you're Sark, it's about winning games. It's not about the Manning legacy. It's not about making sure your quarterback's able to be playing when he's on Warby Parker commercials on Saturdays. No, it's about winning. And maybe Manning doesn't win them games in the way that other quarterbacks might.
I don't see more than 3 more losses on Texas' schedule. So I mean, that's like iffy games, like Oklahoma, Georgia, A&M. I think those are kind of some games you're like, they better show up and play. Other than that, Texas is good. I think they win all those other games just based on their, like what you said, the talent, the defense. Texas's defense is still. I mean, they've given up double-digit points one time in 3 games. I mean, well, I guess Ohio State got 14 on them as well, so twice. But that's it, 14, 7, and 10. That's what their defense has given up in 3 games. That's a real defense.
Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Arkansas, and A&M on their schedule throughout the rest of the season. That's 5 of their SEC games that look like they've got really good offenses. Speaking of Texas, Brian in Ozark has given us a call. Anybody wonder what Brian looks like? Because earlier in the show, we didn't know who people look like. Do you think I look like I sound?
Do you think, is Brian 6'2"?
I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you what, he's got to be a big guy, because
5'11".
he was carrying like half a fence when he called us yesterday or the day before, and he does a lot of heavy lifting. So, Brian, do you want to describe what you look like, or do you just want to get into football?
We'll just get into football. That's cool. Hey, it's funny because, a lot of people are criticizing Arch, but I'll say this. Sarkisian knows what he's doing, and there's a plan for Arch. Arch is going to stay the quarterback for the rest of the year. I totally believe that. I agree with you.
I don't think Arch, unless he gets hurt, I think Arch, because they're not going to, it's not like y'all are going to lose 3 games in a row. Arch should be the quarterback unless he gets hurt.
You're right. And I can tell you this. Taylor Green is not going to run for 100 yards against Texas, period. Guarantee you that.
Are
But
we
here's my
making bets on the Texas game again?
C. McMahon wants that.
I'm saying, yeah, without a doubt.
No, we don't have to
Taylor
worry
Green
about
does
that
not
right now.
Run, Taylor Green does not run for 100 yards against Texas. At least not without a broken leg. But my question is, a lot of people are already praising Arkansas's offensive line, and you're hearing all this stuff. And like Matt said, Arkansas hasn't played anybody yet. Ole Miss's defense wasn't that great. And you got 5 or 6 real defenses coming up. That's going to be their test. And I can tell you, like Matt's already pointed out, Texas's front 7 is going to push that offensive line around like nothing. So I just want to hear what all the praise is so far about their offensive line, and I'll just kind of hang up and listen, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Well, I do think, first of all, there are some guys on that Ole Miss defensive line that are really good, and they're going to be playing on Sundays. That Xavier Harris, that's a guy that's going to be right in the middle of an NFL defensive line for a long, long time. I think that T.J. Daugherty's really good too. And I don't think that Ole Miss defense is as good as they were last year, but I actually think that's a halfway decent defense. And look, I mean, I think there's a ranking of offensive lines and PFF grade or whatever that shows that Arkansas may lead the country in whatever sort of an analytic you can point to. And 3 games in, that doesn't mean all that much because, as Matt's also pointed out, that also counts the jamboree against Alabama A&M. And there was more pressure on Talon in that game, I think, than there's been in the previous 2 games. So that's a little bit weird, don't you think? Just a little bit. But I think the line looks good. I think they've given a nice little push. It looks like they can run the ball. And the huge improvement on pass blocking on the left side of the line, just a huge improvement. And I think that's been obvious to see.
Are they perfect? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. If you've watched Arkansas football play the last couple years, I'm not going to go back too far, just the last 2 years. This offensive line is night and day better. The opponents haven't been, Alabama A&M, Arkansas State. They don't have anybody that could play for Arkansas. I get that. Ole Miss is a real team. We're 0-1 when you look at our schedule. And Memphis, I think, is a real team. I don't think Memphis is an easy pushover. I don't. I think we should be able to outscore them. And then our schedule, man, this is when it starts. I mean, this is really when you think about it. Memphis, Notre Dame, bye week. Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, bye week. LSU. I mean, every single one of those games could go either way. Like, you can't just say that, we're going to beat any of those teams after Memphis, and then you can't say any one of those teams are just going to crush us. I think it's up to them. It's up to those kids in the locker room, and I think a lot of people in the outside media is not giving them a chance. So you got to have a Tiger Woods-like focus. And don't worry about what anybody else says, and just worry about what you can control and go out there and play. I mean, it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Well, I think what the offensive line can control for this game against Memphis is their ability to communicate with each other, because there's going to be a lot of different looks. Sam's talked about this a lot, and I haven't watched Memphis play yet, but it's going to be a different defense that they've seen. They will. You're not going to know who's coming and from where they're coming, but somebody's coming.
We're going to have 2 guys rush for over 100 yards, maybe Braylon and Mike. But I think Mike, this is a game. If they're going to do that and not be gap disciplined, you can't do that against Mike Washington. He'll gash you. He'll cut you. And then late in the game, please in the second half, if it's late in the game and if it's a 1-score game, give the ball to number 0. They don't want to tackle him late in the game. I could see. Maybe you have 3, but you'd like to see Taylor Green, keep doing his thing. But I think this is a Mike Washington game where he could have 150 rushing yards.
877-377-6963 to get with us on that or any other topic. Get over to Joe's Grilling Cantina if you're around Fort Smith for the football game tomorrow at 11 o'clock. If you're wearing your Razorback gear, you'll get half-price apps and half-price taps during the game, and that's all season long. Every Razorback game will be on the TVs at Joe's Grilling Cantina at 74th Street in Fort Smith, right across from Harps. And while you're there, check out the 10-layer dip, Chimi Paquitos, Ultimate Sampler, and Mexican Pizza. It's game day when you wear your Razorback gear, half-price apps and taps during the Arkansas football game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They're online at joesfortsmith.com. Back in a moment. This is Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ryan McGee, ESPN.com senior writer, Marty and McGee. Squeeze play or red zone?
Squeeze play. Squeeze play is like a drug for me. Like I've never done drugs, but I kind of get it because when they go to that quad box, I was texting Mike Rooney and Chris Budden and Chris Burke and Matt Schick going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Weekdays from 9 to 11. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Thanks for watching us.
My story with little yellow tags on everyone. And you can come and see that what I'm done.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I want to go to our Lewis Automotive Hotline. We've been telling about this throughout the entire week. Laura Hoover joining us from Buffington Homes. There's a very big event going on currently and takes you through, I think, another couple days. Buffington Homes Luxury Home Tour going on right now, Laura.
Yes.
Still have a couple days left, right?
Yes, we have. You can swing by today. Tomorrow, we will have the free food trucks back out from 10 to 3. There is a different food or coffee truck at each location. And then you have one last day after Saturday to get the rest of your passport completed.
Can you tell me where some of these, where some of the homes are located and what these look like?
Yes. So we have 2 of our homes are in Bentonville. If you guys are familiar with Evening Star Elementary or Scissortail, we have one community right over there. And then we have 2 other homes that are directly across from Shaw Family Park in one is technically in Elm Springs, and the other one is in Springdale. But if you guys are familiar with the incredible Shaw Family Park in Springdale, that is where they're located. They're 2, so you can knock out 2 of those stops right there. And then we have another community called Blossom Woods, and that is just a couple minutes from Pinnacle Hills. So you can head to our website for all of the addresses, but that just gives you a basic idea of where they're at. And they're all probably about 10, 15 minutes from each other. So it's easy to knock them out in an hour or 2.
This is the kind of tour you can go at your own speed. You're not brought in by somebody and rushed around. You can kind of do it on your own.
Yes. Yeah, you are totally free to tour as you like, and everybody has been loving it. Last week was incredible. We had 400 people that came out and completed their passports, and everybody just kept saying how much fun they were having. So if you like luxury homes, especially, our Bentonville community has our estate homes, and they are incredible, and then each of the stops has food. So you can tour at your speed for sure.
All right. Well, all of that stuff sounds all great, but what about winning things? You guys have some really incredible vacations, including a staycation that we're giving away, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've told a few friends about it, and they were like, these are incredible giveaways. And that's been everybody's response. So the grand prize is a $12,000 trip to a Disney, either the Disney Resort in Hawaii or to Disney World, Disneyland, or even possibly a cruise. So that's incredible. It's going to be a really fun trip for a family. And then the second prize is a stay at the Ozarker in Branson. It's a 2-night stay there. And then there's a $500 gift card to cover your food for the weekend and tickets to Silver Dollar City, which who doesn't love Silver Dollar City? And then the last or third place is the local staycation, which is also really cool. It's a 2-night stay at Hotel 21C, and then a $300 gift card to enjoy at a local restaurant in downtown Bentonville.
How much fun is that? So, are there limited spots available, or is this kind of unlimited?
So it is unlimited. We have all you have to do is stop by one of our models, and you'll pick up a passport. We made actual little physical passports that you will then take, and we have a different stamp at each model. So if you walk into the model, you will get your passport stamped there. You can walk around, enjoy the free food if you're there on Saturday, and then you'll turn in your passport once it's completed to one of our team members. And then the only other thing you have to do to be entered for the prizes is to be there live at the live drawing that we're doing this Tuesday. So September 23rd, we will do that live drawing at our Evening Star Estates model home. It is going to be incredible. We have a DJ. We will have bounce houses. We are one of the coffee trucks from the tour is actually going to do espresso martinis. Ooh. So those are going to be amazing. And then we have cake, and we have a caterer coming, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. and that's where we will draw the prizes for the free trip. So, so you must be present to win, because we have given away a trip in the past, and they weren't there to claim their prize, and so it was just devastating for everybody because they didn't win the trip, and then nobody was excited about the trip. So,
oh, goodness.
But we're also making it a party, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll have one of our coffee trucks is going to be there doing lattes as well, but also the espresso martinis, so it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it's the kind of party you're going to have to kick people out. They're going to want to stay all night long. Where can folks register?
So to register for the party, we actually have QR codes that you can scan out in the models, and we will send that out on Facebook and Instagram as well. They don't have to register to come pick up a passport. All you have to do is just come by our model homes, and we have passports ready to go. So you don't have to register really anywhere to start the process. You'll just come by our models, and then once you complete it, we do have your email, and I'll send out a link for the RSVP for the party.
Okay, so when's the last day for the Buffington Homes Luxury Tour?
So the last day of the tour is this Sunday.
Very good. All right, everybody, get on there. BuffingtonHomesAR.com. You can see where all the homes are located, how to get there, and everything else about the giveaways and the prizes and food and drink, too. Laura, appreciate you joining us. I hope everything goes well. I'm sure it already has, and hope a few more people show up.
Yes, yeah. We've had, last weekend was actually such a huge turnout. We ran out of food at 2 of the food trucks, and then ran out of ice for the iced coffee at one of the coffee stops. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. One of the coffee trucks is going to have homemade Pop-Tarts that are free this weekend, too. So if you came last weekend, you're welcome to come out again.
Sounds delicious. Now I'm really hungry, and I blame you. Laura, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Laura Hoover with Buffington Homes. You can register right now, BuffingtonHomesAR.com for the Buffington Homes Luxury Home Tour 2025, and it'll end on Sunday. And when I go tour homes, Matt, I'm more interested in touring homes. I'm not going to buy a house. I'm more interested in the homes that are a mess, the ones that you would never step foot in again for the rest of your life, the ones that have a really weird smell from a couple of the corners, not the ones that I go into and think, I can't afford this. I'd love to live here, but I'm not going to be able to spend the money on it. I want to go places that gross me out that I can tell people about later.
Or for the free food, if they got a fresh panini over there, it's like, hey.
I have a feeling none of these homes from Buffington Homes are going to have weird smells. Or like I've seen in one case, you ever go to a house that you're going to tour, and it's not like a Sunday, it's not an open house or something. Well, you figure people are going to get out of the house, right? Of course they're going to get out of the house. But not everything that lives in the house is also getting out of the house too, which includes the 8 dogs that were in the backyard when I went and looked at a house once. You open the backyard to look at it, the next thing you see are 8 pups just yelling at you. What are you doing in my house? Then there's 2 of those other dogs that are inside the garage, and they had a nice little puddle around them too. What do you think was going on there? This happened to be a house that also had a giant tarantula inside a big glass cage, and I didn't know if I saw the tarantula. When I heard one was there, it was definitely in somebody's bed. Places smelled like ammonia. Yeah, that's my favorite house I've ever visited too, man. Then there was the one I walked into probably later on in the same day where it, I don't really know what the scent of death smells like, but that must have been really close. These are houses I will never step foot in again, but I will never forget stepping foot in them once.
The stench of the scythe. Is that what we call it?
Ugh. It was. The
Reaper. Does he carry a scythe? A scythe?
Yeah, I think it's a scythe. That's right.
Scythe. The stench of the Reaper. He was just kind of. It's kind of like in Ghostbusters when after they leave, you can see the trail of slime because it was after. Like, oh, I know where you've been.
I don't even believe what Michael tells me here on the text line. He says the owner was sleeping in bed when he toured the house once. That's like walking into the hotel room and somebody's in your bed and you haven't quite even been in the room yet. And you know what? Those little latches on the hotel doors, those are there for a reason, a really, really good reason. You can join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Before we go, I want to remind you about Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Been serving our listening audience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for over 3/4 of a century and counting. Every visit to Crabtree RV Center, no matter who it is, you'll get the best RV purchasing experience. They're going to help you choose the right RV, listening to what you want. They have personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department, and Crabtree RV is right where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. Online, crabtreerv.com. We're back in a moment. This is Halftime.
I want to say first off that you are the best caller of baseball, and I've listened to a lot of radio out there. I just want to say, you are fantastic at what you do.
This is Halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Kind of like, well, what are you going to wear? And I was kind of looked at Clay. I was like, kind of what Clay has on right now.
This is Halftime.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Meet 3 Ladies in a Roof. We're locally owned, certified, insured, and bonded roofing company. 3 Ladies in a Roof can handle everything from start to finish with honesty, quality, and integrity. A hard-working company that knows roofing. Go with the crew that gets it done right. 3 Ladies in a Roof stands behind their roof so you can stand under it. Call 501-658-3193. 3 Ladies in a Roof, helping you with all your roofing needs. Ready to serve the River Valley.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson. We're here at Shangri-La Resort, Mount Ida, Arkansas, here with my buddy Phil Carr. Phil, it's football season. I know you're hustling and bustling. You're trying to watch games. You're trying to keep up here. Man, this really is the perfect time to come see us at Shangri-La, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great time. The lake's not quite as busy. We're still open 7 days a week. It's just a great time. You can enjoy the games, you can enjoy the food, and enjoy the lake a little more because there's less people out.
Phil, what do we always say about Shangri-La Resort?
Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Mount Ida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Everybody listen up.
everybody cries, everybody lives and everybody dies. Everybody eats and everybody loves, everybody knows what everybody does. Everybody's going through the changes, every complication. What you say with gesture and expression in my imagination. Every mobile phone, every restaurant, everyone we know, everything you want.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
A couple of houses that some listeners want me to tour through. Seth wants me to tour through the McAllister home after the Wet Bandits have been through. That's the thing is with the Wet Bandits and what they do and the lengthy vacations the McAllisters take, you're going to get some black mold in that house. Not buying it. Thank you.
And they got a tarantula problem.
Yes. I've already told you.
Not into it.
I'm not touring homes with
you see
giant
these
tarantulas.
spiders that can like hop? Like you ever see a spider and and it just hops? It's like, whoa, like a new Nightmare Unleashed. You're like, whoa.
What about the spiders that use their web strands to fly and can fly for miles and miles and miles? You want me to freak you out for the rest of the show about spiders and snakes? Because I could do it if you want. Woo. Anyway, and then Dan said... says we should go to Denise Richards' house. $3 million house in Los Angeles. She's renting upstairs. Her husband or ex-husband lives there too, with his parents. 15 dogs in the house. Sounds like a very interesting place.
That's a real thing. Yeah,
I guess it is. We going to? Are they putting that one on the market? If so, Dan, I'll get a tour of it. That would be a house I would only go through once. Wasn't a real. Well, no reason to get into homeowning. Anyway. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. 3 top 25 games college football this weekend, Matt. Which one interests you most? Let's see. We got Auburn and Oklahoma. Auburn's number 22, OU's 11. That's in Norman, 7.5-point favorite. Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and Utah in Salt Lake.
That's the one that interests. Now I could care less about Illinois and Indiana.
And then Illinois, Indiana.
I haven't seen Texas Tech play yet. They're the most expensive team football can buy, right? Like what's going on?
So I hear.
So I want to see them play. I'd like to see Texas Tech play Utah and kind of formulate my own opinion.
It's a pretty important game for the Money Equals Championships crowd, because Texas Tech threw all this money at this team this year. Remember, and I mean they were even getting into it on well, Sam talked about it on Wednesday about the front loading contracts. I mean they front loaded all the NIL to before the House settlement, and I guess the feeling is this is a one-off thing. Even though I think a lot of us are believing, well, you know, you can have your no-show jobs now. So essentially, the front loading the contracts, they didn't need to do that. So they'll be able to fund their team any way they want to fund them next year too. And this is their biggest game on the schedule. This is it. This is the game that they've had to plan for. This is the one. It's Utah and Texas Tech. Those are the two, I think, real contenders in the Big 12. And after this, Tech gets Houston, Kansas, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, BYU, UCF, and West Virginia. K-State and Arizona State, I think, will be the toughest of those teams that they'll be facing. So, yeah, this is a really big game for throw money at a bunch of guys and see if it sticks. Because wins over UAPB, Kent State, and Oregon State are not really going to prove to you whether that meant very much. And then this Oklahoma-Auburn game, I think, is really interesting, too. Obviously, you get Jackson Arnold returning back to Oklahoma. But, you know, this is like an idea of was last year just a one-off thing for OU, and it's a matter of the quarterback. And I want to see if Auburn can actually move the ball against a good defense, because I don't think Baylor's a good defense, and Ball State and South Alabama are not the same kind of athlete that they're facing the rest of the year. And I'm not a firm believer in Jackson Arnold and Auburn's ability to move the ball through the air yet. I do think they'll have a really good defense. So that's a test for John Mateer. And I think Mateer he's right there near the top of the list on the Heisman odds behind Carson Beck. So I think that game interests me a lot too. Obviously, it's the biggest game in the SEC this Saturday, and I would put it ahead of Indiana versus Illinois. Just wonder if even either of those two programs will have the ability to keep last year and keep it moving forward into the near future. Keogh thinks Arkansas 34, Memphis 17.
Ooh, see, I think Memphis is going to get to that 20 number mark.
Remember, Keogh, Memphis has a string of 43 consecutive games scoring 20 or more points. That goes back to November of 2021. So, hey, if this Arkansas defense holds them under 20, that would be a massive improvement from the week before against Ole Miss. Different level of competition, I understand, but I don't know if I necessarily care about that. When if I'm just looking at a box score at the end of the game, and you can see you held a team they've scored 20 or more points against Power 4 teams. I think a couple of those games are against SEC teams, Mississippi State, Missouri. I don't think the Hogs will have trouble getting to 22. Brandon says 52-14. I don't think it's going to be a blowout of that kind of proportion.
Within 5 possessions, Phil, I'll say this. Arkansas's first 5 possessions, I think they'll have 21 points. That's 3 touchdowns and 5 possessions first half. I think that's a safe number.
Can we add a field goal? I want to see Stars that get a field goal.
We could be 24. We
too.
could be 17 as well. It could be 17 to 24, somewhere around there. I think the first 5 possessions, the Hogs, 17, 21 points. And I 100% agree with you. The very first time Arkansas gets a chance to kick a field goal, trot him out there. Because you know what it is with kids like that? It's the 6 inches between his ears. It's not about his talent. He didn't shank those field goals. He pushed them. He missed it by a half a centimeter. It wasn't like it was a big miss. He barely missed those kicks. So let's understand what's going on. You're going to need him later in the year to make a field goal. If it's against LSU, if it's against Texas, if it's against Missouri, I don't know. But you got to be ready. First chance we get a chance to kick a field goal, we trot him out there and let's go ahead. And then it's over with. Then we don't have to think about it anymore.
Call the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Here's Brent. Hey, Brent, what's going on? Where are you going?
I am headed to Little Rock right now, right this very minute. Got to get on the couch and get all my lines straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to the game. I can't wait to get to Memphis tomorrow by 10:30. I'm going to have a foot-long corn dog smothered in mustard and a Diet Coke in my hand. I cannot wait.
That sounds great. By 10:30, I'll be done with my portion of pregame, so I can have a corn dog and a Diet Coke too in the press box. Well, it's not a press box; it's still just the sweets.
I hope you're able to do that. Hey, I think the score of this game could be 34-31 Hogs.
Whoa! You're going in the opposite direction here.
Theater.
Yeah, that'll be some theater. There'll be some gnashing of teeth next week.
There's going to be some gnashing of teeth tomorrow during this game. Memphis is a really good football program.
I would agree with you there. I think they're a little outclassed, though, but I would 100%, Brent, would agree with you. Memphis is better than Arkansas State. That's a real good football program. You're right.
They're about I'd say Memphis is 3 touchdowns, but about 3 touchdowns better than Arkansas State, probably.
I might tend to agree. Although they've
31-17. If Memphis played Arkansas State, I'd 31-17 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, Phil, to get off the subject, have you been to see fall baseball practice? Have you been able to watch any of
No,
it?
I haven't gone to any yet, Brent. It's really just because I haven't been up in Fayetteville too often for football, so haven't had the chance to go see the baseball team yet. But that'll change next week.
What days do they practice? Do they practice baseball, Phil? Every day?
Oh, I'm
Do
sure
you
the
know?
guys are there every single day. Absolutely. I mean, they'll practice on their own even if they're not on the field. But I think they're having. I guess they'll be on-field practice probably every day except Mondays is my guess. But they're always out there, no matter
Okay.
what.
All right, and I will let you go. Hey Matt, I'll stop by and see you at the studio when I'm in Fort Smith next week.
Come on, man. We'll chop it up. Come on.
If you do that, Brent, then
All
you
right.
got to go inside the studio and do a live segment with us. You got to get like Brett Dolan last week, and since we never had Brent live in a microphone, it was always on the phone. You're the same way, so. And we actually, and
No
that
question.
too, you know what that means too, Matt? We'll get to see what Brent looks like, see if face and voice match.
No question. I will come do it, and I'll come do a segment with you when I'm in Fort Smith. No doubt about it.
You got a PlayStation 5 in that fancy rig of yours though?
No, sir.
CEA Sports over here is ready to take you down in
So the two of them could hang out together, hanging out on the couch, playing Madden,
college football,
putting away lung darts every once in a while. It'd be a great day.
Would you? Yeah. Would you not hold it against me? I'm not a big video game fan. I hadn't played in years. I'm a fan. I'm a
Brett,
Nintendo
I'm not.
man.
Brett, I will hold nothing against you ever.
I love PlayStation when I could bowl with. No, Wii.
That was
is
the
what I
Wii.
like. I like Wii when you could bowl. I could sit in my chair and bowl. I could play tennis. I loved it. It was awesome.
I know. It was great to be able to get that kind of exercise, just kind of hanging out, sitting there on the couch. What happened? You still have that thing?
Just hanging out, talking sports and playing Wii. What more could a man want?
It's a really good wrist forearm workout. So one of a few ways you can do that.
No
Brett,
doubt.
It's
No
great.
doubt.
Great to hear from you. I hope the corn dog and mustard and Diet Coke wash down nice and easy tomorrow morning, and then a Razorback win, hopefully by more than 3 points.
I hope so too. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Be
you got
safe
it.
Going to Memphis.
Thank you very much, Brent. You be safe too. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. A lot going on that phone call, Matt. We're making plans for our friend C Unit with new friends now.
It's kind of how moms and pops do when you're younger, huh? Go hang out with him. No.
Did we just make a play date for Christian? I think that's what we did. We scheduled our buddy for a play date.
Video game play date. I love it.
Football, cigarette, Diet Coke.
Well,
play
I
date.
used to live in Stuttgart, and I didn't know who Brent was at the time. But
he's in Searcy. Don't worry.
I know
He wasn't
but
in Stuttgart.
I know, but he used to live in Stuttgart.
Oh, he was okay.
Yeah,
you've been all over the state unit.
Well, my money's on the unit, though. That's we're this is one of those deals where he's got to represent the halftime homework squad and go ahead and you know what a twank fish is? That means when you're up 21-0 and the game's over. We call it a twank fish.
When you asked what that word meant, I had a completely different thought, and I don't even want to get into it. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Anybody else want to make a play date? Call us. We'll set you up with C-Unit. You can also get over to RHOBACK.com, Roback.com, and get a look at the most beautiful polos, hoodies, and Q-zips in the American Summer Collection. And don't forget about the Arkansas Game Day Collection at Roback. Custom designed hoodies, polos, and Q-zips, Razorback logos all over them. You can get 20% off your first order. Use the code RUSH25 at checkout. Roback, where action meets comfort. Back in a moment, wrapping up hour number 2 on Halftime.
Oh, you seen much combat?
I've seen a little on TV.
This is Halftime.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Gelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, non-typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Jelco Outdoors Port Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
When you purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle from Road Chevrolet, we'll throw in a $500 Amazon gift card. $500. That's right. Get the car of your dreams and start your shopping spree. But you better hurry. This offer won't last forever. Visit Road Chevrolet today and turn your purchase into a $500 shopping bonanza. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway. When the deals and amazing wheels come together. See dealer for details.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, your passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
You're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Are you tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures or struggling with missing teeth? This is Dr. Charles Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself experience with full arch dental implant solutions. Dentures that are securely attached to implants, giving you a natural looking, confident smile that feels like your own. No more slipping, no more pain, just the freedom to smile, speak, and eat with ease. You like coming to see us, right, Matt?
Who doesn't want to say, I love the way your smile lights up under your eyes? Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to schedule your consultation today.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
score free.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, unit, it's homework time, and we know you're going to be watching a couple of Robert Redford movies. They'll be your choice, but you've had some advice from your... Well, if we're setting you up with play dates, I guess we can be your older brothers here. My advice would be All the President's Men. Matt said watch Spy Game, but you can pretty much take your choice. But then there's this Led Zeppelin thing too that I can't have him not knowing the Led Zeppelin discography or anything about the band enough. And the thing is too is that you got to make an appointment to sit and watch a movie. But if you're just driving around or walking around or whatever, you can always have music on. I mean, Matt usually does.
The thing about Zeppelin is when you get into them, it's not about these hit singles that pop. You know, it's not a 2 minute and 57 pop song. You put on an album one side, you just push play and you listen to the whole thing through. That's
how music used to be designed.
That's what I'm saying. It's a totally different vibe, a totally different feel. But all you got to do, Led Zeppelin, 1, 2, 3, 4, Physical Graffiti, Houses of the Holy. I mean, that's 6 albums right there. And then if you want to get into some more of them, get in some more of them. But I would say those 6 albums you're ingrained if you listen to those 6.
You know, when it comes to those albums, each one of them has been my favorite of Zeppelin at any one time. And I don't have one at the moment because I could listen to any one of those 5 from start to finish. And Matt, I think that's the drive to Memphis today. I need something to keep me awake on that miserable freaking drive. And Led Zeppelin's going to do it. Thank you.
Houses of the Holy is one of my favorite. Led Zeppelin 3 is another one. Like but
Led Zeppelin 2 is another one. I mean, goodness.
Right, yeah.
It's like trying to pick your favorite kid, which, I mean, truthfully, we all have a favorite child. You just don't ever tell them that.
It's the one the parents move to as they get older. Yeah, it's like, hey, so where do your parents live? That's the favorite kid.
Christian, when's the last time you actually listened to an album from start to finish?
The last time, probably you guys assigned me one.
That's the one that he can't remember, that album, but that's the one that he did.
I don't even remember what it was.
The Beatles, maybe?
Maybe the Beatles?
Forever.
Which, I mean, that was only something we had to assign to you twice.
Yellow Submarine's pretty good.
How many times are we going to have to assign him Led Zeppelin for crying out loud?
The Doors, L.A. Woman. That's a great album.
This is what's happened to our society, Matt. The whole downfall of society is because people no longer listen to albums from start to finish.
Man.
Well, it's like, I know Robert Redford. I read a synopsis about when he did this movie on this 2-minute clip.
Oh, yeah, he was that guy on the Captain America movie. Ugh. If that was the last thing I ever heard, that to me was just a painful thing to hear. Well, it was like a Billy Crystal joke in the 80s. It said his daughter walked over him and asked, "Dad, was it true that Paul McCartney was in another group before Wings?" Sooner or later, Christian's going to ask that question.
I can barely watch an Arkansas game from start to finish.
Ooh,
sometimes.
We must be headed into the golden hour. Shots fired.
We'll be back into hour number 3 on a Friday in just a moment.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
America, our military is sacrificing for our freedom. Please take time to remember our men and women fighting overseas. This salute is courtesy of 4D Diesel LLC, proudly serving our area with reliability and excellence. For all your mobile diesel and heavy equipment repair needs, call the professionals at 918-839-1069. That's 918-839-1069. That's 4D Diesel LLC. On the air reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to our brave.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some scattered showers and storms today. A high this afternoon, mid to upper 80s. Tonight will dry out under a clear to partly cloudy sky. Overnight low will drop down in the low to mid to 60s. Partly to mostly sunny sky with isolated showers and storms possible. Highs on Saturday, mid to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Good pick, good pick.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
The drinking all day.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, it's hour number 3 on a Friday, and welcome back in on halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, and we have one more guest, and it'll be Neil Atkinson, Bet Sarazin, coming up in the next segment. So you want to hit us up, now's the time. Lewis Automotive Hotline remains open for you at 877-377-6963. There's an interesting little note here from the Barstool account that covers Memphis. It says that the last time Memphis lost to a power conference team at home was September 7th, 2013. So now they did beat Mississippi State the last time they had a team in their own building in Memphis, and that was 2021.
That was all with Norvell, though, wasn't it?
No, that was the first year with Silverfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the first year that he was the coach. So they do have a win under him, and that wasn't a good Mississippi State team. It wasn't even a really good Memphis team. They finished 6-6 that year. But
it shouldn't happen.
No,
you shouldn't lose to Memphis.
No, it shouldn't happen. It's just my understanding of Memphis football is that this is one of the better Group of 5 programs. And there's fewer. Well, I wouldn't say there's fewer Group of 5. It's just that some of the better ones moved up to.
Wouldn't you want to see
bigger leagues like Cincinnati, like SMU? There's a few others too.
Wouldn't you want to see a group of the group of 5 in a 12-team playoff? Like your Memphis, your Tulane, your Boise State, your UCF. Like, I think you could have 2 different, and it's not necessarily Division I, Division II, but you could have 2 different 12-team playoffs. Love to see, because then it's nobody wants to see somebody get beat 42-6, even though it can still happen. It's more equal. It's just weighted about the same. That would be the way to do it, you would think. I don't know if the NCAA would do it that way, but man, that's what you want to see.
Well, yeah, and I agree. The idea that if you're an FBS playing competition, but you're less than because of the league you play in, wouldn't you want the ability to play for something that is a national title of that level? Like, we have different levels of all of these games, but then on the other hand, it works in the other sports too. It's just, and I think this is such a major aspect of the conversation of, who can win national championships in whatever sport. There's what, 330 some basketball playing institutions, baseball playing institutions, and 132 FBS institutions. So automatically there's a fewer number of teams that can win just based on the percentages that you would think. But man, you never hear this kind of stuff about baseball and basketball. Division I is Division I, and they're going to be like that. You get 64 teams into the tournament for baseball, 68 for basketball, and everybody seems to be happy about it. Although I guess we're going to be getting at some point, not this next tournament, but in the future, there'll be more basketball teams in the tournament. It's just with football, it's a different thing. I feel like there's a bigger disparity between here and like the American Conference, the Mountain West, whatever, the WAC, whatever's left of the WAC, the Southland, than there is in baseball and basketball. Just very disparate kind of athletes, much different kind of athlete. But this is not, there's the whole idea that I was hitting on. Like, Arkansas State is a good group of 5 program. I don't think they're at the level of Memphis. I put Memphis at the level of upper echelon group of 5. And this is on a routine basis. Like, remember Coastal Carolina, what was it, 3-4 years ago, just kind of had a season and was close to making the playoffs? They haven't stayed at that level.
App State beat Michigan a few years back.
They beat them as an FCS school.
Yeah.
They moved up to FBS, and they continue to play really well. Of course, Dowell's there now, and I think
they took an L to Southern Miss last week. I always keep a track of.
You think of I think who's the number 1 group of 5 program? Is it Boise? Is that the one that hits?
Either them or UCF.
UCF is Big 12 now.
They're Big 12 now. Yeah, I was thinking the Orlando, Florida school. Boise has to be in that. Yeah, Boise's top 3 when it comes to mind. Tulane and Memphis.
Tulane, yeah. I mean, it's going to be an American school probably at the moment outside of Boise, because the other aspect is, like, Boise's moving to the Pac-12. We're supposed to start looking at that league once the Mountain West becomes the Pac-12 next year. We're supposed to look at that as the same level. Does that mean Boise State's not group of 5 anymore? Because the American Conference was, for a little bit there, felt like, the hanger on to the Power 5. It was just like Power 5, and the American's pretty good too, but they're not quite at that level. But yeah, like Memphis, Tulane, their game against Ole Miss is pretty big this weekend. For Ole Miss, looks like Austin Simmons may not play. And I know Arkansas didn't play well defensively, but that Ole Miss backup, Trinidad Chambliss,
yeah,
a lot of it had to do that they didn't get any pressure on him, but
that's not a typical backup.
He made all the throws. He looked like he could really run and a little bit slippery. He was able to get through some of the pressure that they got to him at time. The little pressure there was. I was wondering if Arch Manning at some point gets replaced because he's ineffective. But this Austin Simmons situation would be a Wally Pipp, Lou Gehrig thing.
Well, what it does is it allows you to give him time to rest that ankle. If you're Ole Miss, what do they got? Tulane, LSU bye week. Can you get through with the backup quarterback? I think through Tulane you can, and then if that's who you're looking at, but if he continues to look that good, I think it'd be hard to not start that kid against LSU.
I agree. You're not supposed to lose a job because of injury, but we also know that there's exceptions to that, and it's not necessarily the way that it goes. And with quarterback, it's not like you can rotate your running backs, You're not going to be rotating your quarterback. I do think that, it's not necessarily dependent on how Chambliss plays against Tulane, but that's a good team. It's the LSU game that I think would make the decision. Because if Simmons can't play this week, but he's healthy the following week, you could see it one way or the other. I mean, I was still impressed with Simmons that he came in for 3 snaps against Arkansas and was noticeably limping and was still able to scramble for a first down and and was a wide open receiver in the end zone. I think you and I could have. You could definitely make that throw, Matt. I might have been able to make it, even though I still can't really throw a spiral properly. Yeah, I mean, Bryant P. Ridge texts in the ultimate, I guess in our minds, the modern Wally Pip Lou Gehrig, which was Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe. And that was, maybe that whole, it wasn't a controversy, but that was a conversation that lasted the entire season once Brady got out there and they kept winning games. It's a little different in college football, but Simmons has been sitting there behind Jackson Dart for 2 years to take over as the starter.
And he's super smart.
And
that helps. That helps.
Yeah, but it'd be something, too, if like this Division II transfer, who won a championship at D2.
What about the Alabama deal with Tua and Jalen Hurts? Wasn't that kind of a deal, too? They took him out at halftime, put Tua in
a
championship game.
Championship game. That is I think you could classify that as a gutsy move, couldn't you?
Dude goes, well, what about Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith? That's another one. Alex Smith was only winning 9-10 games a year every year at Kansas City, really coming into his own, and then you get a young quarterback and bam.
Well, it's like a succession plan. They like the idea
Well, we're
of the
used to
ability
seeing
to lay it out there. So this is how we see this working for 2-3 years. Seems to have worked in Green Bay. I mean, they've done it twice in the last.
That's just what I was going to say. You don't see it happen that much anymore, where they get a guy in, and even the Giants. Think of the Giants. Well, Russell Wilson's been on both ends of it. The Russell Wilson goes to Seattle. They just gave Chance Mock. I'm trying to think the Green Bay quarterback, but they gave him like $56 million 3-year deal. They draft Russell Wilson. He gets cut before the thing's even going. Now Russell Wilson's in New York. Everybody wants Jackson Dart playing.
And in this situation in Ole Miss, and I think of like this, and I know it wasn't really a decommitment. This kid who I think Sam and the Arkansas staff basically told him, you transfer, you're leaving that school. We don't want any part of you. I think that's Javon Gilmore, quarterback who was at Gaffney High. The idea of a succession plan in college. There is a succession plan for this program right now. I mean, they've already basically anointed KJ Jackson next year's starter, which is great. If he stays with the program, and I don't know why he would leave to stick with Petrino and be in that offense for what would be a third year. He'd be in the same situation as Simmons, Matt. Also a lefty.
I wonder how many of these receivers are coming back. I absolutely love what Coach Pittman said at SEC Media Days about we're not looking for a starting quarterback for next year. We already got him. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think that hurts you in recruiting. It's just we got our guy for next year. If you want to come and sit and learn and see how we're doing things, I absolutely love it. I don't think he's going anywhere, Phil.
All right, we're going to break here on halftime. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen joins us right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ryan McGee, ESPN.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I'm not your friend or anything. You think that you're the think therefore I'm not your friend or anything. You think that you're the man. Stop. What are you talking about? I get my pretty name out of your mouth. You're not the same with don't talk about me like you might. The world, but your world isn't real. It was an idea. So go
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Right on our Lewis Automotive Hotline now is Neil Atkinson from Bet Sarazen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. And Neil, it's Football Friday. We got a lot of games tomorrow. We got some games tonight as well that are on the Bet Sarazen app. And how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Getting ready for this big weekend and looking forward. And from a bookmaker perspective, I'm glad the Hogs are playing at 11 o'clock. That way, if they do cover and they do win and it's a high-scoring affair, the players got an opportunity to play the money back throughout the day. It's kind of hard on us when Arkansas plays late at night, and that's the last game in a lot of games parlays, because we are always, I think every game but one, we have been lopsided on local bias on the Hogs, and I don't see that any different this weekend going to Memphis.
Line's held pretty steady throughout the week, much different from last week against Ole Miss.
Well, yeah, but originally, the line came out at 4.5, and then the market reacted to it very, very quickly, and it jumped all the way up to 7.5. It's been at 8 at some points, but it's back down to 7.5 right now as we speak, and the over/unders has actually gone down a little bit. It was 63. Well, no, the line is actually at 7 now, and the over and under was at 63 earlier. It has come down to 60 today, so that's probably where it's going to stay. Last week against Ole Miss, the line started out at some places came out as high as 10, and it got back down all the way to 6 at the beginning of the game, and it landed on 6. And people that made their bets at the last minute got a push, but everybody else that bet against the spread cashed in on the Hogs last week. This week, the analytics on the game has a completely different opinion from what the players are betting this week. Interesting. I have a projected score on this game, and I know this is not going to be a popular thing. This is just a computer modeling simulated score. The score that's been put out there is 32-33 in favor of Memphis.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's it on paper on the analytics. Now, of course, if all of these games came out the way the computer picked them, it wouldn't be any fun betting them or watching them. But yeah, this one is interesting to see. The public is going against what the simulations are going. And just as note, Memphis Tigers this year are 3-0 against the spread on their betting lines, where the Hogs are 1-2 against the spread this year. So that's just some food for thought when you're making your selection.
That goes a little bit different against what, like, Sam's career. It's funny because you look at the career record, and it's against the spread. Like, Sam's really good. Now, we don't go by against the spread. The joke is right. Good coaches win, great coaches cover. But it is kind of interesting is they haven't quite had that going for them this year. The last 5 years, absolutely.
Yeah. So, the heartbreak, I know that, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. The heartbreak of last week, you were in a position to get a go-ahead score, and of course we all knew what happened there. So, it's a game of inches, and one play makes a difference in a game, and that was another game where turnovers were a factor. So, now one thing I am worried about, even though, the analytics have the game, at 65 points and the over and under is now down to 60. On paper, this has the potential, and we all know what the potential of Taylor Green is, and with the receivers and what he's able to do with his feet. I'm more worried about the props this week from a bookmaker perspective, because if it is a high-scoring affair, which I'm kind of anticipating that it's going to be, there's going to be the opportunity to knock down a lot of the player props. And in addition to just the props that we put in the Arkansas specials on the front page, when you go to the actual game itself and you have all of the alternate lines, if the players will check on the player prop section, I think they will notice that we have gone much deeper in the Arkansas rotation. I got our data provider to have deeper coverage of more players, to have more options. And we've got some good coverage of some of the Memphis players on there too, for those that want to look at that. But we've expanded that coverage this week, and we'll see how those perform, and hopefully people will notice, especially if you're not wanting to parlay them like we do in the specials. If you want to bet them individually or pick and choose what stat that you want to parlay, if it's parlayable and it's not correlated with the other bets that you have in the ticket, that may be that's another option for you to go. But those props that we pre-populate are very, very popular.
I see like 27 of them are when you hit on the button on the Arkansas Memphis game. 27 player prop bets right there.
There's more than that. There's actually more than that. That number is just of the main markets, and then when you drop down to the different types of players, it's even more than that. Because I think we've got on touchdown scores. I'm looking here. We've got I think 10 or 12 here touchdown scores for Arkansas, and I think we've got one in Memphis, Sutton Smith. But the rest, and Brandon Lewis with Memphis, and the rest of them are all Arkansas players with odds there. And if you drop down all the menus, there's even more than there. So nobody has more coverage of any college team than Bet Saracen does on the Arkansas Razorbacks when you take the odds that we pull from the data providers and the content that we create ourselves on the special pages. I'll put that up against anybody, and that's a little bit of what helps keeps Bet Saracen number one here in Arkansas.
I see a 50% profit boost that started yesterday. You just got to register on the app or on the page in order for this to be a part. But there's specific bets that you have to make, specific games that have odds that are only part of this profit boost, correct?
Yes. So the first thing you want to do whenever you log in and you're already a customer is click on that promo page and go through, and guys, go ahead and opt in to all of those promos that we have there. Now, of course, read the rules and all of that. We're not going to, if you opt in, we're not going to hook you in something that you don't want to do. The reason why you want to opt in is because if you do make a bet and you put it in your bet slip and you have opted in, the system will recognize that bet qualifies for that promo, and it will prompt you to add that promo to your bet slip so you can take advantage of it. So, I mean, you want to do that with the 50% no sweat bet for the NFL. You want to do the NFL on the 21st for those games, the parlay bet and get, the profit boost, 75% profit boost on Lions versus Ravens. And then again, of course, you want to opt in for the tailgate experience with the Texas A&M game. Darren McFadden's going to be there as part of our guest, and you'll get to meet and greet him. And, of course, you want to opt in for the 50% pigskin jackpot. That way, if one of your parlays is one of the top 500 of the month, you'll get a bonus. And, it's all about the promos. And by using those promos, we give a little bit of the house's edge back to you when we do those promos. So you always want to take advantage of that because it's tough enough to beat sports betting already. So when the bookmaker's going to give you a little bit of an edge or a little bit of a profit boost, you always want to take advantage of that.
Seems it's always about the promos and the parlays. Brad texted in, Neil on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. He asked for an explanation of what cannot be included in a parlay.
Well, yeah, you kind of got me a little bit on that one right there. We have a new data provider, and we're getting official data on the NFL now. And although the regular season is not official data, we're going to have official data for the NCAA playoffs. And right now because we've added those new feeds, some of the things that were parlayable earlier are currently not. It is all getting mapped and fixed. It's really, really complicated because there are markets that are heavily correlated, like first half points and points for the game. You know, if one event happens, it's more likely the next event to happen, and there's complex math models. Right now, he can call me out on it. We don't have as many items that are available to parlay together. But the key is if you'll look and see that SGP icon beside that market will be able to be parlayed with other props within that bet. You can always do from one game to the next. That's not a same game parlay. You can do that. But if it's in the same game and it's the same players in the game, look for that SGP icon, and those are the ones that we will allow you to combine on a single ticket in a parlay if both of those markets are relative to the same game.
All right, hope that explains it for you, Brad. And there is an NFL parlay bet and get special this weekend too that I want you to be able to highlight before we conclude this, Neil.
Yeah, that bet and get there is, let me scroll down real quick. We've got so many promos is that I got to go and look at it. So on this particular one is that all you have to do is make a $10 real cash wager. Remember, if we got bonus funds or bonus cash, those don't qualify for promos because that's a promo already. But if you make a $10 real cash wager on a 3+ leg parlay, you got to make sure the odds are at least 400 or longer, and it shouldn't be very hard on a parlay to get on a 3-leg parlay to get your odds over plus 400. And if win or lose, you're going to get a $5 free bet paid out within 72 hours of it settling, and that's on the 21st of September. So that's just where you're going to get a free bet if you make a 3-team parlay on an NFL that's 400 or longer. And the most important thing that you got to do is hit that opt-in button, and that way if you've done that, when you do put together that parlay and it qualifies and meets those, you can just add it to that bet ticket by one click of a button, and you'll get that promo. We try to make it as easy as that.
Neil, the app looks great. Right now, it looks like it's a little bit easier to find SEC games, top 25 games on college football. That's something that is a little bit new. All you got to do is I see an SEC button. I see a top 25 button on the football page. It lays it all out there for you. And previously, you'd have to kind of go through the entire college football page and kind of pick and choose. But it's out there for you really easy now.
Yeah. And we're doing that, and that's on the football tab. That's not going to be on the home page. That's on the football tab. Another thing that we did is that we got some feedback on Saturdays when all of the games go live. You know, of course, we move them over to the live tab, but they were all of the live games were keeping on the main tab, and people were having to scroll through all the games that were currently going on to find the games that we're going to be starting on later in the day. So this week, what we're doing is once a game goes live, you want to find it on the live tab, and it won't show on the main homepage again and clutter that one up. That's kind of a nice problem to have. We've got so much content now that we're having to find creative ways to organize it and so people can find it. But another thing I want to remind people of, and we put it front and center, if you're looking for a specific game, on the bottom right corner of the app is that search button. So if you hit that search button and you type in ARK, for Arkansas, anything with any Arkansas teams or that has ARK in it will come up. Will come up on that one. And it's that when you did that ARK, it actually brought up the Sam Houston Bearcats and the Texas Longhorns game because it saw ARK and Bearcats. So it will put things that are not necessarily relative, but if you know the name of the team or the name of the player that you want to bet a prop, just type in the first 3 letters and it should find it, and the more letters you type, it will find it, and that market will automatically display. And that's a real easy way to find a specific that you're looking for without having to scroll through all the content and hunt for it.
Sounds good, Neil. We'll leave it there. I appreciate you as always, and we'll talk again next week before the Notre Dame game.
All right, yeah, that's going to be a magical day up there, and let's go into that in 3-1. Hopefully the boss is not listening because if Arkansas wins and covers, I know no one's going to feel sorry for us. But as always, all those that are traveling to Memphis, be safe on I-40 and have a great time at the game and have safe travels back. Good luck and beat Memphis. And I think, listen, I can't believe Arkansas hasn't played Memphis since 1998. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. And I hope my computer modelings are not right, because I am a fan now and looking forward to it. So good luck on your parlays and have fun this weekend.
Thanks, Neil. It's Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. You download from the App Store for your iPhone, Android users, Google Play. You can type it into a web browser as well, betsaracen.com. And now we can also open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you at 877-377-6963. It's the home stretch of the Golden Hour. Back in a moment.
Why do you want to fight?
Because I can't sing or dance.
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Football, fantasy drafts, new school supplies. It's my favorite time of year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Born and raised in the River Valley, I know how crazy traffic can get this time of year. As kids head back to class, remember to use caution at crosswalks and in school zones. But not all accidents can be avoided. If you or your loved one is injured in a car wreck, call today. 479-769-1505. No win, no fee. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Fall is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your mower with a Hustler from WT Equipment. Hustler mowers are built tough, cut cleaner, and make yard work faster and easy. Right now, WT Equipment has great deals on Hustler Zero Turn, so you can get professional results without the hassle. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today and see why Hustler is the mower of choice for homeowners and pros alike. Go by and see them at WT Equipment or find them online at WTEquip.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Baby's good to me, you know she's happy as can be, you know she said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine. Baby said she's mine, you know she tells me all the time, you know she said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Quick, C movie, C music. Who are the Beatles? The 4 Beatles, since we're playing a song by them.
Ringo Starr, John Lennon.
We did this 2 days ago.
Paul McCartney.
One more.
Why am I forgetting?
You're fired. George Harrison.
James Harrison played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
First of all, he's the first person to ever list Ringo first.
And
Nobody's
the full
ever done
name.
that. That's right.
Full name. I like it, Unit. That's 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
I've got a pop quiz for the Fish City Grill trivia question today for Fish City Grill Friday. We got a $25 gift card to give away to Fish City Grill in Rogers if you get this question correct, and you're the first one to do it on the text line, 877-377-6963. There is one former Memphis Tiger who is enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Who is it? 877-377-6963. And I didn't even know that this guy played at Memphis until I went to the Liberty Bowl last year and his name's outside on the stadium wall. So it made a heck of a lot of sense. We're going to have a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill if you get that question right, and you're the first one to do it. Great special this month in Rogers at Fish City Grill. Jalapeno bacon mahi tacos, grilled branzino with chimichurri, garlic herb potatoes, and grilled broccoli. And Brett and his team want to cater for you for the Razorback games. 479-636-8833. That's Fish City Grill on South Bellevue Road in Rogers. Also at fishcitygrill.com. And, oh no, B.E. Penny Hardaway is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Isaac Bruce is the correct answer. And you will see C-Movie as I put my winner text to the winner. It's a 479 number, and this is the guy who's got it. Isaac Bruce played 2 years at the University of Memphis and is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was about as good as it got there for
him and
a
Torrey
long time.
Holt, greatest show on turf.
That's exactly right.
Marshall Faulk, man. You know, you look at some of these, you know, it's weird the debate, Phil, when people are like, well, so-and-so couldn't play in today's time. Oh yeah, he could. Oh yeah, he could.
Is Torrey Holt in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he made it.
Falk got in, Kurt Warner's in,
and Bruce.
and Isaac Bruce. And there was only 3 from those St. Louis Rams that got in there. All right, so we've got our winner, and we got to do a Survivor Series pick here, right?
Well, Unit has Florida. They're going up against Miami, so he might have a chance.
Well, that'll be really great because after Florida loses this one, they don't play next week. So that means C Unit will just be stuck in neutral for another week.
I have a chance. The only thing is, in our little group, you just don't want to get last. You don't want to have to buy the tacos. We're in Arkansas. I would take Arkansas, but I've already taken them. Can I take Tennessee? It's my pick first.
Tennessee's got UAB this weekend.
Does that a qualifier? Does that qualify?
No, that's a regular FBS game. That is not a jamboree.
I think because I was torn between Ole Miss and Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee.
All right, let's see here. The jamborees this week: LSU in Southeastern Louisiana, and that's it.
Mississippi State, Northern Illinois. That's not a jamboree.
No, Northern Illinois is a MAC school.
What about Vanderbilt and Georgia State?
Georgia State is FBS. I won't forget the league they play in, but that's an FBS school.
I'm still going to take Tennessee.
All right, so I cannot take Kentucky, Auburn, or Oklahoma. So who do I want to go with here? Can I take Florida? No, I wouldn't take Florida against Miami. Why would I do that?
They're already taken.
Tulane. Yeah, I guess I can't because they're taken. You're right. Missouri, South Carolina. Oklahoma against Auburn. Tennessee, UAB. I can't do that one. Vandy and Georgia State. I mean, I guess I could go with Vanderbilt, but next week they get Utah State at home, so I might want to hold on to that one.
Yeah, you get first pick next week. So.
Yeah, next week I do get the first pick. Ole Miss and Tulane. Because later on in the season, it's like Ole Miss gets Mississippi State the last week of the season, but I don't know if I can. There's a lot of golf left until then, so I can't go in that direction. Let's see here. I think I'm kind of interested in this Missouri-South Carolina game. I feel like I want to pick an SEC game, like a conference game, not out of conference, because sooner or later that's what you're going to be left to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri at home against South Carolina after a giant egg was laid by the Gamecocks, and I don't think Lenora Sellers is available. I'm taking Missouri.
Ooh, best running back in the SEC.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mizzou. JT reminds us Vandy lost to Georgia State last year. Isn't that crazy? You think of it.
And they beat Alabama last year?
The team that beat Alabama.
Whoa.
At least to Georgia State. All in the same season. You think these things go together? All right, so Unit's got Florida against Miami. Matt, you've got Tennessee against UAB, and I got Missouri against South Carolina.
Whenever Unit has his rebirth, he's going to have all the plethora of teams to take. I mean, he's whenever Florida, because you got to think Florida will win eventually.
But they've got the toughest schedule in the country, probably.
Unit, I'm on your side, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
They also have the most interception throwingest quarterback in the SEC. So good luck with that on the road this week. I'm going to remember what I was putting down here for Matt. Yeah, Tennessee is who he chose. I had to get into Clayton Kershaw retiring. There's a little bit of baseball here, at least a little bit.
First ballot?
Absolutely. Yeah. No doubt. He should be. Now, unanimous doesn't happen very much, but Kershaw's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I'm waiting for the first person to text in and tell me that he wasn't a good postseason pitcher, and that's what you're going to remember him by. Come on. Let's not go in that direction. It's selective remembering of somebody's career, because Kershaw, I mean, he didn't have the numbers that he had in the regular season, the postseason, but he won 13 postseason games, lost 13, 4.49 ERA, went 3-2 in his career in the World Series. I mean, the guy had some good postseason experiences. He just had some others that would make those numbers look bad for a moment. So I don't remember him as just a guy that was, a disappointment in the postseason. I'm going to remember him as the best left-handed pitcher of his generation. A taller Sandy Koufax for the same team that was part of one of the most dominating runs in a single division in the history of the sport since baseball went to divisions. Yeah, and I mean, you think of the pitchers that are on the short list of the greatest of this era, in an era where things changed to now finally actually lean a little bit towards the pitchers, because you know these guys that are swinging and missing but trying to hit it over the fence. Verlander, Scherzer, and Kershaw. And I think I put Verlander at the top of that list, because he's actually pitching really well right now at the end of this season for the Giants. His overall numbers don't look great, but he's finishing the season really well. You know, Kershaw's going out pitching well too, and he'll get a chance in the postseason. But this is a guy, and this does show you a little bit about what starting pitching is about now. First ballot Hall of Famer, who is the 18th season that he's in the major leagues. He got up there at age 20. Only 5 times has he eclipsed 200 innings. Think about that. How many of the other starting pitchers in the history of the sport that are in the Hall of Fame eclipsed 200 innings 5 times or more? All of them. Like all of them. Every starting pitcher in Cooperstown will have eclipsed 200 innings more than 5 times. So, I don't think that knocks him back, because that's the way the game is managed now. But Kershaw is 6th all-time in hits allowed per 9 innings, 5th all-time in career whip, which measures how many base runners you allow per inning. And, I mean, this sounds big. It's a big number, but 47th in ERA all-time is actually really good. I'll be rooting for him in the postseason, because he's somebody worth rooting for.
That was my question. I think I asked it to you earlier this week. Does he make the postseason roster?
Oh, he should, as long as he's healthy, and I think he has been. He's got a 3.53 ERA. He's pitching pretty well.
And not even if you, I know there's so much talent on that Dodgers team, but even if you just had him to say, hey, we're going to change your role a little bit, could you see him doing that and being like, hey, you'll be the first guy we bring in the game?
His role will change in the postseason, because he's done that already, where he'll work in relief.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
do a
what I was
Superman
kind of
thing.
thinking. Yeah,
I think you have to at that point. And yes, at the end of his career, I think you do anything possible to help your team out, even in a role where you haven't really.
Would that be his
served very
third
much.
ring? If they win?
Yeah, because they
he's
won
got
the
2.
2020.
Yeah,
and then was it last year? No, 2020 is what he's got.
Oh, he's only got 1 ring. Okay, so he's like the Atlanta Braves, like all that dominant. Hey, but he's not Charles Barkley or Dan Marino. He's got a ring.
Well, they did win.
What
the
about
World Series
Felix
last year.
Hernandez?
There was 2 of them. That's right. He won 2 of them. I'm sorry.
You know I'm a King Felix fan. Felix Hernandez, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes, but he's also in that spot where it's such a dominant run for a long time, but he'll end up with in terms of starting pitchers, one of the weakest win-loss records.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's been discounted. Just like innings for starters don't mean as much now. This is somebody that had a 169, 136 record. So only won 33 more games than he lost in his career. But I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. I just don't think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It'll take it a few times to get through. But K-Rod pitched 200 innings like 8 times in his career. With Kershaw, there was always something that would knock him out for like 3 weeks. He'd miss 5 starts a season. And in today's age, that's going to get you under 200 innings almost every time. JT says if Kershaw's bad in the postseason, was Maddox bad in the postseason? Now, it's the same thing. And they did win a World Series, too. So, I mean, everybody, do you forget the 95 World Championship for the Braves? Does that discount, the World Series they lost or the times they didn't make it into the World Series? They do get a ring. What else here? Salvador Perez, according to Groundhog, 300 home runs and 1,000 RBIs. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. Absolutely. Yeah, and I wonder if he'd be a first ballot guy, but as a catcher, I hope he would be. And before I go, Hagen Smith, yesterday, Double-A playoffs, 5 no-hit innings for Birmingham with 10 strikeouts. He's had himself a pretty good first season. Hagen may end up opening next year in the big leagues. With as well as he's pitched to Double-A this season, if he flashes at spring training, I'm not here to tell you he'll be in the White Sox opening day rotation, but maybe he will be. And we're back in a moment to wrap up halftime on a Friday. Stay with us.
Do you have a criminal record?
Nothing worth bragging about.
This is halftime.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. This is a game changer for the Van Alma community. Sharp Equipment is now open at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren. No matter what sector of heavy equipment you're in, you'll leave Sharp Equipment with new ideas, new relationships, and new opportunities to grow your business. Sharp Equipment is locally owned and operated, so whether you're needing to stock up on filters, order replacements, or renting equipment for the next big job, this is the perfect place to shop locally. Stop in at Sharp Equipment, now located at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give them a call at 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment can help you move more than just the world. They help you move forward.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. Jeans, and I feel all right. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. I put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on. Good mornings make for better days. I put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean.
Clean at 646-4087. ServiceMaster Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local ServiceMaster Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at ServiceMasterPC.com.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $60 on an Ego 56-volt 16-inch chainsaw kit after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
I've got good intentions, but you don't see it all. She doesn't mention that I'm a sucker. I'm in the doghouse again, standing in the pool.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, Matt, I can taste it now. It literally is. I can already taste the peppery, spicy, crispy skin that I've been thinking of since I saw this Memphis game was scheduled. I should be out the door already. I mean, you and C Unit, you need to do the final 2.5 minutes of the show here so I can finish packing, get out to Memphis, beat the traffic, and get to Gus's. If I make it to kickoff tomorrow, might actually be a surprise because I plan on eating about 6 pounds of Gus's fried chicken today.
Have a full belly. I like it. I'm going 42-21. That's my prediction. I'm gonna go the Razorbacks 42, the Tigers 21.
I do think Arkansas is going to win the game by double digits, but I think it'll be a close game to the fourth quarter, and I think it's going to be an entertaining game. How about, by the way, you heard Neil when we had Neil Atkinson on. He said his computer models had Memphis winning 33-32, and that's like 2 points off of what Brent told us the score was going to be. But he predicted Arkansas 34, Memphis 31. I find that very interesting that these computer models have a score of Arkansas losing this game by a point, which I don't even want to think about what next week would be like.
Oh, it's
if
on
that
the
were to
basketball
happen.
season.
That's exactly right.
It's on to basketball. We didn't even make it to bye week one. The question before the season started was, can we have 6 wins before our second bye week, before November? LSU, Texas, Missouri to finish it, or are we going to have to win one of those games to get to 6? We lose to Memphis.
The definition of a long year.
There's not 2 more wins on this schedule. Let's don't even bring that to fruition. I got the Hogs over the Tigers.
Good. Okay. Enough of your computer models, Neil and Brent. I mean, at least you got them winning, I guess. Which one do I go to? The Gus's? I go to the one on Front Street in Memphis. That's the one that was the first one I ever ate at. That's the place where the moment, you know what it's like when there's life-changing bites of food. The moment your teeth sink into it, you know something's different. That's headed over to eat this stuff on Front Street any moment now. And Chris is the one in Memphis, or Little Rock better? The one in Memphis is better, just because it's Memphis. There's probably the only thing I could tell you about. Hey, Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast ready to go in just a couple of minutes, if it's not already out there, because sometimes on Fridays, C Movies got it ready to go before the show's done. Hey, programming tomorrow, 6 a.m. Arkansas game day, 8 o'clock Learfield pregame. Matt and C45 are on Hog Reaction later on here on ESPN Arkansas for a full day of Razorback football programming, and then we'll hash it all out next week. We'll see if we've got to do the gnashing of teeth. Hopefully not. For Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, I'm Phil. Appreciate you tuning in today. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach And that's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.